Chosen ones, this message was left for you. Watch closely, then erase it. This isn't a coincidence. It's not another video in an endless scroll. This is a divine dispatch, a sacred whisper from eternity, delivered to your screen at this precise moment. Your heart is stirring, isn't it? That quickening in your chest, that restless pull in your spirit. It's not random. It's recognition. Heaven has orchestrated this encounter, and the message you're about to hear carries a weight that could shift the trajectory of your life forever. But here's the urgency. This message comes with a timer. Once you hear it, once it sinks into your soul, you must act or erase it from your mind, because hesitation will bury it in the noise of the world. Are you ready to receive what God has been holding for you since before you took your first breath? You didn't stumble here by accident. The creator of the universe, the one who hung the stars and carved your name into his book, has been guiding you to this moment. You've been searching, haven't you? Maybe for answers to prayers that seem to echo into silence. Maybe for meaning in the pain that's kept you awake at night. Maybe for a sign that you're not forgotten, that your life matters, that your struggles have purpose. Chosen one, hear this clearly. Your pain has never been punishment. It's been preparation. Every tear you've shed, every door that slammed shut, every dream that seemed to crumble, they weren't denials, they were divine detours, redirecting you to this exact moment, where a message waits with your name written on it in heaven's ink. Picture a scroll, ancient and radiant, unfurling in the courts of eternity. Your name is etched upon it, not in fleeting ink, but in the everlasting light of God's purpose. This scroll isn't a suggestion, it's a summons. It's not a possibility, it's a promise. But here's what makes your heart race. This scroll has an expiration date, not because God's love runs out, but because his divine assignments are tied to precise moments in eternity's. Isaiah 55:6 declares, "Seek the Lord while he may be found, call on him while he is near." Why while? Because divine opportunities don't linger forever. They open like a window letting in the breeze of heaven, but they close when the season shifts. This is your window. This is your moment, and this message, this sacred dispatch, is your invitation to step into the divine purpose that's been calling you since before time began. Let's talk about why this message feels so urgent, why your spirit is trembling as you hear these words. You've been through storms, haven't you? Moments when life felt like a battlefield, where every step forward seemed to meet resistance. You've watched others sail through open doors while yours seemed bolted shut. You've prayed prayers that felt unanswered, carried burdens that made you question if God even saw you. But here's the truth that will shatter every lie the enemy has whispered. Every closed door was God's protection, not his rejection. Every delay was his design, not his dismissal. Every tear was collected in his bottle, as Psalm 56:8 promises, to be transformed into the oil of anointing for your breakthrough. You weren't forgotten, chosen one. You were forged. Think about Joseph, thrown into a pit by his own brothers, sold into slavery, locked in a prison for a crime he didn't commit. For 13 years, door after door slammed in his face. Betrayal, injustice, silence. But Genesis 50:20 reveals the divine perspective. You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good, to accomplish what is now being done, the saving of many lives. Every closed door was redirecting Joseph toward a palace he couldn't yet see. Every injustice was building his character for a purpose so great it would save nations. Your story is no different. The rejections you've faced, the nights you've cried out, "Why me, God?" they weren't random. They were divine preparation, shaping you into the vessel God needs for a mission that only you can fulfill. This video unveils a unique truth. Your deepest doubts are the keys to your greatest breakthroughs. The enemy has convinced you that your questions, your struggles, your moments of uncertainty are signs of weakness. But they're not. They're the very places where God's strength is perfected, as 2 Corinthians 12:9 declares, "My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness." Your doubts aren't disqualifications. They're invitations to lean deeper into faith. Your struggles aren't setbacks. They're setups for a divine comeback. And this message, this sacred moment, is God's way of saying, "I've seen your doubts, I've heard your cries, and now I'm revealing the purpose behind it all." Let's pause for a moment because I can feel your spirit stirring. If this message is resonating, if you feel that divine spark igniting within you, I need you to declare it. Type, "I am receiving my divine message" in the comments below. This isn't just a comment. It's a declaration to heaven that you're ready to embrace the purpose God is unveiling. It's a signal to the spiritual realm that you're stepping into your calling. And as you type, pray for the person who commented before you. You're not alone in this journey. Thousands of chosen ones are awakening alongside you, forming a community bound by divine purpose. Your declaration strengthens them, just as theirs strengthens you. Now, let's get practical. You're not here just to feel inspired. You're here to act. God doesn't call you to dream without giving you the tools to build. So, here are 3 specific steps you can take today to align with this divine message and step into your breakthrough. First, write down one goal for the next 7 days. It doesn't have to be grand. It could be starting a conversation, applying for a job, or writing the first page of that book God's placed in your heart. Put it on paper, because Habakkuk 2:2 says, "Write the vision, make it plain on tablets, so he may run who reads it." Second, reach out to one person you've been meaning to connect with, someone you need to forgive, encourage, or learn from. A single phone call or message can unlock healing and open doors you didn't expect. Third, take one tangible step toward a dream you've delayed. Register that business name, sign up for that course, or share your testimony with someone. These steps aren't just tasks. They're acts of faith that tell heaven you're serious about your calling. These 3 steps, writing a goal, connecting with someone, and acting on a dream, are your keys to unlocking this divine moment. They're simple, but don't mistake simplicity for insignificance. When the widow in 2 Kings 4 followed Elisha's instruction to gather jars, it seemed small, but it led to a miracle that sustained her family. Your small steps today are the foundation for miracles tomorrow. Commit to these 3, and don't add more until you've acted on them. God honors obedience, not overthinking. Let's talk about someone like you, someone who stood at a similar crossroads. Meet Anna, a single mother from Chicago who felt stuck in a dead-end job for years. She'd pray nightly, asking God why her life felt like a cycle of survival. One evening, she stumbled across a message like this one, urging her to act on the dreams she'd buried. She doubted. Her bills were piling up. Her confidence was low. But she took 3 steps. She wrote down a goal to start a small baking business, called a friend who'd offered to help with a website, and posted her first batch of cookies online. Within weeks, orders poured in. A local cafe partnered with her, and today, Anna's business supports her family and funds a community program for other single mums. Her doubt didn't disqualify her. It was the doorway to her destiny. Your doubts, your struggles, they're not barriers. They're the raw materials God uses to build your testimony. Now, imagine standing before a door, radiant with golden light, your name carved across it in letters that pulse with divine energy. This isn't just any door. It's the threshold to your purpose. the gateway to the life God designed for you. But here's what the enemy doesn't want you to know. The handle is on your side. God has opened the door, but you must choose to turn it. Revelation 3:8 says, "I have set before you an open door, which no one is able to shut." That door is open now, but it won't stay open forever. The question isn't whether God will keep his promise. It's whether you'll trust him enough to step through. Why does this feel so urgent? Because the enemy knows what's at stake. He's been whispering lies to keep you small, lies that say you're too broken, too old, too unqualified. But those lies are crumbling under the weight of God's truth. You're not too broken, you're beautifully prepared. You're not too old, you're seasoned for impact. You're not unqualified, you're chosen. The enemy's greatest fear isn't your past failures, it's your future victories. Every doubt you've carried, every moment you felt overlooked, was his attempt to keep you from this moment. But he's failed, because you're still here, still listening, still believing. Let's talk about David, a shepherd boy who faced a giant when no one else would. 1 Samuel 17 tells us he wasn't the strongest or the most experienced, but he was the most willing. When others saw Goliath's size, David saw God's faithfulness. Your doubts, your giants, they're not here to defeat you. They're here to reveal the faith God has built in you. Like David, you've been trained in the quiet fields of life's struggles, preparing you for a victory that will echo through generations. Your breakthrough isn't just for you. It's for those who will be inspired by your courage, who will find hope in your story. If this message is stirring your soul, if you feel the weight of this divine moment, I need you to declare it. Type, "I am claiming my divine moment," in the comments below. This is your commitment to heaven, your signal to the spiritual realm that you're ready to step into your purpose. As you comment, pray for the person above you. They are walking this faith journey with you, and your prayers strengthen the community of chosen ones rising together. And if this message is moving you, join thousands of chosen souls by subscribing to stay connected to your divine purpose. Your subscription isn't just a click. It's a commitment to stay anchored in God's truth. Now, let's address the doubt that's trying to creep in. Maybe you're thinking, "I've heard messages like this before and nothing changed." That's not truth. That's the enemy's last stand. This moment is different because you're different. You've been refined by every trial, strengthened by every prayer, prepared by every closed door. Romans 8:28 assures us, "All things work together for good to those who love God, to those who are called according to his purpose." Your past disappointments weren't dead ends. They were divine setups leading you to this open door. The difference between then and now is your readiness to act, to trust, to move. Consider Esther, a young woman who could have stayed silent, hidden in the palace, safe from risk. But Esther 4:14 challenged her, "If you remain completely silent at this time, relief and deliverance will arise for the Jews from another place, but you and your father's house will perish. Yet, who knows whether you have come to the kingdom for such a time as this?" Esther's doubt was real, but her faith was greater. She acted, and her courage saved a nation. Your doubt is real, but your faith is greater. Your action today could shift not just your life, but the lives of those connected to you. Your family, your community, your legacy. Let's make this practical again, because faith without action is dead, as James 2:17 reminds us. You've got your 3 steps. Write a goal, connect with someone, act on a dream. These aren't suggestions, they're your marching orders. Anna's story showed us that small steps lead to big breakthroughs. So, don't overcomplicate it. Tonight, before you sleep, write that goal. Tomorrow, make that call. This week, take that step. God isn't asking for perfection, He's asking for movement. Your obedience is the key that turns the handle of this divine door. Picture yourself standing at that radiant door again. The light spills out, warm and inviting, but beyond it lies a battlefield, not a lounge. Luke 12:48 warns, "To whom much is given, much will be required." This door doesn't lead to ease, it leads to impact. You're not stepping into comfort, you're stepping into purpose. You're not just a receiver of blessings, you're a carrier of God's glory, assigned to heal, to restore, to break chains for others. Your doubts, your fears, they're not signs you're unfit. They're proof you're human, chosen to carry divine power through human weakness. Let's talk about someone else. James, a mechanic from Atlanta. For years he felt a call to mentor young men in his neighborhood, but doubt held him back. "I'm not a preacher," he'd say. "I don't have the words." But one night, a message like this one broke through. He took 3 steps. He wrote a plan to start a weekly meetup, called a friend to co-lead, and reserved a community center room. That was 6 months ago. Today, James mentors 20 young men, teaching them skills and faith. His doubt didn't stop God's plan. His action unleashed it. Your doubt won't stop you either, if you act. The enemy is trembling because he knows what's behind this door. A version of you so bold, so anointed, so unstoppable that it threatens his plans. He's thrown every lie at you. Doubt, fear, inadequacy, to keep you from turning that handle. But 1 John 4:4 declares, "Greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world." Your doubt is no match for God's truth. Your fear is no match for his power. Your hesitation is no match for his timing. This is your moment, chosen one, to erase the lies and claim the message written for you. If this is hitting your spirit, if you feel the urgency of this divine dispatch, type "I am erasing the lies" and claiming my message in the comments below. This is your declaration that you're done with doubt, done with delay, done with anything that keeps you from your destiny. Pray for the person who commented before you. They're part of this holy remnant, standing with you at this threshold. And if you haven't yet, like this video and subscribe to stay connected to your divine purpose. Your commitment to this community strengthens us all. Now let's talk about hope. Not the fragile wish the world offers, but the unshakable certainty of God's promises. Hebrews 11:1 defines it. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Your hope isn't a maybe. It's a divine guarantee, sealed in heaven, waiting for you to claim it. Every doubt you've carried, every question you've wrestled with, has been preparing you to hope with a fierceness that moves mountains. Think of Abraham, who hoped against hope, as Romans 4:18 says, believing he'd be the father of nations when his body and Sarah's were as good as dead. His hope wasn't in circumstances, it was in God's word. Your hope, too, rests not in what you see, but in what God has spoken. This message is your burning bush, your Damascus road, your Esther moment. It's not here to comfort you, it's here to activate you. The door before you leads to rooms you've never imagined. Boardrooms where kingdom strategies are birthed. Homes where prodigals return, communities where revival sparks. But you don't get there by standing still. Your 3 steps, write a goal, connect with someone, act on a dream, are your map. Don't add to them, act on them. God's already given you the key. Now turn the handle. As you stand at this threshold, know this: you're not alone. Thousands of chosen ones are hearing this message, feeling the same stir, facing the same door. You're part of a remnant, a holy army rising to break chains and shift atmospheres. Your doubt isn't your enemy. It's your training ground. Your fear isn't your captor, it's your signal to move. Your life isn't a mistake, it's a miracle in motion. This message was left for you, chosen one. Watch closely, then erase every lie that says you can't. The door is open. Your destiny is calling. The next step is yours. The next step is yours. Imagine the weight of this moment, chosen one, like a single thread in a tapestry woven across eternity. This thread, your decision, your action, your faith, connects you to a divine design far greater than you can see. You're not just standing at a door, you're standing at the intersection of heaven's purpose and earth's reality. The scroll with your name unfurled in the courts of glory isn't a vague promise. It's a detailed blueprint crafted before the stars were set in place. And this message, this sacred dispatch, is your invitation to align with that blueprint, to weave your thread into the eternal story God is telling through you. Let's talk about the lies that have tried to unravel you. The enemy hasn't just whispered doubts. He's spun a web of deception, convincing you that your mistakes define you, that your past disqualifies you, that your story is too messy for God to use. But hear this, your mess is your message. Your scars are your credentials. Your brokenness is the canvas where God paints his masterpiece. Look at Rahab, a woman in Jericho whose past was stained with shame. Joshua too tells us she was a prostitute, an outcast. Yet she chose to act in faith, hiding Israel's spies. Her decision didn't just save her family, it earned her a place in the lineage of Jesus. Her past didn't limit her, it positioned her for purpose. Your past, your failures, your doubts, they're not chains. They're the stepping stones to a destiny only you can fulfill. Why does this matter now? Because the enemy's lies are loudest when you're closest to your breakthrough. He knows the power of this moment, the weight of this door, the magnitude of what's waiting on the other side. He's not fighting you because you're weak. He's fighting you because you're a threat. Ephesians 6:12 reminds us, we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this age. The resistance you feel, the doubts that surge, the fears that whisper. It's not personal, it's spiritual warfare. And you're the target because you carry a divine assignment that could shift generations. Picture a battlefield, vast and shadowed, where angels and demons clash over your destiny. Every doubt you faced, every moment you felt unworthy, was a strike from the enemy, desperate to keep you from this door. But here's the truth that makes hell tremble. You're still standing. Despite every attack, every lie, every closed door, you're here, listening, believing, ready to act. That's not coincidence, that's divine resilience. That's the Holy Spirit within you, bearing witness to your calling. As Romans 8:16 says, the Spirit himself bears witness with our spirit that we are children of God. You're not just surviving, you're thriving in the Spirit, poised to claim the victory God has already won. Let's make this real with another story. Meet Daniel, a teacher from Houston who felt trapped in a cycle of regret. He'd missed opportunities, a chance to start a nonprofit, a moment to reconcile with his brother, because he believed the lie that he'd failed too many times to be used by God. But one night, a message like this one pierced his heart. He acted on 3 steps. He wrote a plan to launch his nonprofit, called his brother to mend their rift, and applied for a grant he'd been avoiding. Today, Daniel's nonprofit serves hundreds of at-risk youth, and his brother is his closest ally. His regrets didn't define him, they refined him. Your regrets, your missed moments, they're not the end of your story. They're the prelude to your greatest chapter. If this is stirring your soul, if you feel the fire of this divine moment, type I am breaking free from the lies in the comments below. This is your declaration to heaven that you're done with the enemy's deception, ready to embrace the truth of your calling. As you comment, pray for the person above you. They're fighting the same spiritual battles, standing at their own radiant door. Your prayer strengthens the remnant, the holy community of chosen ones rising together. And if this message is fueling your faith, join thousands of chosen souls by subscribing to stay anchored in your divine purpose. Your connection to this community is a lifeline in these urgent times. Now let's talk about courage. Not the absence of fear, but the choice to move through it. You've already taken 3 steps: writing a goal, connecting with someone, acting on a dream. These are your acts of courage, your declaration that fear won't write your story. But courage isn't a one-time decision, it's a daily commitment. Joshua 1:9 commands, "Have I not commanded you? Be strong and of good courage. Do not be afraid, nor be dismayed, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go." God didn't tell Joshua to feel brave. He told him to be brave, to act despite the giants, the walls, the unknowns. Your courage, chosen one, is the key that keeps this door open, the force that propels you into your spiritual awakening. Think of Peter stepping out of the boat in Matthew 14. The waves were raging, the wind was howling, and Jesus was walking on water. Peter could have stayed safe, analyzing the risks, waiting for calmer seas, but he chose courage, stepping onto liquid impossibility, because his eyes were fixed on Christ. Even when he faltered, Jesus didn't let him sink. Your courage may waver, your doubts may surface, but Jesus is right there, holding you up, guiding you through. Your step through this door isn't about perfection. It's about trust, about fixing your eyes on the one who called you. What's on the other side of this door? Not just personal transformation, but legacy. Not just breakthrough, but impact. You're stepping into rooms where prayers are answered, where prodigals return, where communities are healed. You're carrying a mantle that will outlive you, a purpose that will echo through eternity. But the enemy wants you to believe it's too big, too risky, too late. He's wrong. Ecclesiastes 3:1 says, "To everything there is a season, a time for every purpose under heaven." This is your season, your time, your purpose. The scroll is open, the door is radiant, and the only thing missing is your courage to step through. Let's address the voice that's whispering, "What if I'm not enough?" That's not your voice. It's the enemy's, and it's a lie. You are enough because God is enough. Philippians 4:13 declares, "I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me." Your strength doesn't come from your resume, your resources, or your confidence. It comes from the one who chose you. Like Gideon in Judges 6, you may feel like the least in your family, hiding from your call, but God called Gideon a mighty man of valor before he ever fought a battle. God sees the warrior in you, the victor, the chosen one. Your not enough is his more than enough. Picture that door again, its golden light spilling across your path. Beyond it, you see glimpses of what's waiting: a family restored, a community transformed, a dream fulfilled. But you also see shadows, the challenges, the battles, the sacrifices. That's why courage matters. You're not stepping into ease, you're stepping into purpose. You're not just a dreamer, you're a doer, a carrier of God's glory, a breaker of chains. Your 3 steps, your goal, your connection, your action, are the foundation. Build on them with courage, and watch God turn your faith into miracles. If this message is igniting your spirit, if you feel the call to step boldly through this door, type "I am walking in courage" in the comments below. This is your vow to heaven, your signal that you're ready to move despite the shadows, to claim the message left for you. Pray for the person who commented before you. They're your brothers and sisters in this faith journey, standing with you in the spiritual realm. Your courage strengthens them, just as theirs strengthens you. Now, let's talk about vision. Not the kind blurred by doubt, but the kind sharpened by faith. Proverbs 29:18 warns, "Where there is no vision, the people perish." Your vision, chosen one, is the blueprint of your destiny. It's not a vague hope, it's a vivid picture of what God has promised. When Nehemiah rebuilt Jerusalem's walls in Nehemiah 2, he didn't start with bricks. He started with a vision, a clear image of restoration. Despite opposition, mockery, and threats, he held fast to that vision, and the walls rose in 52 days. Your vision, your goal, your dream, your purpose is your wall to build. The enemy will oppose it, but your faith will complete it. Consider Maria, a nurse from Seattle who dreamed of opening a free clinic for the homeless. Doubt told her she lacked the funds, the time, the support, but a message like this one shifted her perspective. She took her 3 steps, she wrote a proposal for the clinic, contacted a local charity for partnership, and started fundraising online. Today, Maria's clinic serves hundreds, a beacon of hope in her city. Her vision wasn't a fantasy, it was a divine assignment, activated by courage and faith. Your vision too is waiting to be activated. Hold it clearly, act on it boldly, and watch God bring it to life. This message was left for you, chosen one, not to comfort you, but to challenge you. It's a call to erase the lies, to silence the doubts, to step through the door with courage and vision. You're not here by chance. You're here by divine appointment. The scroll is open, the door is radiant, and the battlefield beyond it is where you'll shine. Your 3 steps are your foundation. Your courage is your key. Your vision is your guide. The question isn't whether God will move, it's whether you'll move with Him. The door is open. The message is yours. What will you do with it? The air around you feels charged, doesn't it, chosen one? Like the moment before a storm breaks, heavy with promise, electric with possibility. This isn't just a feeling, it's the atmosphere of heaven leaning in, the spiritual realm aligning to see what you'll do with this divine dispatch. The door before you, radiant with your name etched in celestial light, isn't just an invitation. It's a summons to become the answer to prayers you didn't even know were prayed. You're not standing at this threshold alone. Generations past and future are watching, their hopes tied to your obedience, their freedom linked to your faith. This message, left for you, is your mandate to rise, to act, to erase every excuse and claim the destiny God has written in the stars. Let's talk about legacy. Not the fleeting fame the world chases, but the eternal impact God has designed you to leave. You weren't created to blend into the background, to live a life that fades with time. You were chosen to plant seeds that grow into forests, to spark flames that ignite revival, to build bridges that carry others to freedom. Psalm 112:2 declares, "The generation of the upright will be blessed." Your actions today, your courage to step through this door, will ripple through time, touching lives you'll never meet, healing wounds you'll never see. The enemy wants you to believe your life is small, your choices insignificant, but every step you take toward your divine purpose is a stone in the foundation of a legacy that will outlast you. Think of Ruth, a Moabite widow with no claim to Israel's promises. Ruth 1 tells us she could have stayed in her homeland, safe in familiarity after losing her husband, but she chose to follow Naomi, declaring, "Your people shall be my people, and your God my God." That single act of faith positioned Ruth in Bethlehem, where she became the great-grandmother of King David and an ancestor of Jesus. Her legacy wasn't planned, it was forged through a moment of bold obedience. Your legacy too is being forged right now. The goal you wrote, the connection you made, the dream you acted on, these are the threads of a tapestry that will tell a story of faith for generations. You're not just living for today, you're building for eternity. Why does this feel so weighty? Because the enemy knows the power of your legacy. He's not just fighting your present, he's fighting the future you're destined to shape. Every lie he's whispered, every doubt he's planted, is a desperate attempt to keep you from this door, because he knows what's on the other side. A life that shifts atmospheres, breaks curses, and restores what was stolen. Peter 5:8 warns, "Your adversary the devil prowls around like a roaring lion, seeking someone to devour. But you, chosen one, are no prey. You're a warrior, armed with the truth of God's word, shielded by his promises and empowered by his spirit. The lion may roar, but you were born to roar louder." Let's ground this in a story of someone like you. Meet Clara, a librarian from Denver who felt her life was too ordinary for God's use. She'd spent years shelving books, dreaming of writing one that could inspire others, but fear of failure kept her silent. One evening, a message like this one stirred her spirit. She took her 3 steps. She wrote an outline for her book, contacted a writing coach she'd met years ago, and submitted her first chapter to a publisher. Today, Clara's book, a devotional on finding God in everyday moments, has touched thousands. Her ordinary life became a beacon of hope, proving that no life is too small for God's purpose. Your life, too, is anything but ordinary. Your steps are building a legacy that will shine far beyond your years. If this message is burning in your heart, if you feel the weight of the legacy you're called to leave, type, "I am building my eternal legacy," in the comments below. This is your declaration to heaven that you're ready to live for more than the moment, to shape a future that honors God's call. As you comment, pray for the person above you. They're part of this sacred remnant, crafting their own legacies alongside you. Your prayer weaves you into a community of chosen ones, each step strengthening the others. And if this message is fueling your vision, like this video and subscribe to stay connected to your divine purpose. Your commitment to this journey binds you to thousands walking the same path. Now, let's talk about trust. Not the easy kind that comes when life is smooth, but the fierce kind that holds fast in the storm. You've taken 3 steps: writing a goal, connecting with someone, acting on a dream. These are acts of trust, proof that you believe God's promises more than the enemy's lies. But trust isn't a one-time choice. It's a posture, a daily surrender to God's timing, God's way, God's plan. Proverbs 3:5-6 instructs, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your paths." Trust means stepping through this door without knowing every detail. Believing God's direction is better than your map. Consider Abraham, called in Genesis 12 to leave his homeland for a place God would show him. He had no itinerary, no guarantees, just a promise. Yet he trusted, packing his life and stepping into the unknown. His trust didn't erase the challenges, famine, conflict, delay, but it positioned him to become the father of nations. Your trust won't erase every obstacle, but it will position you for breakthroughs you can't yet imagine. The door before you, glowing with divine light, doesn't promise a path without trials. It promises a God who walks with you, who turns trials into testimonies, who transforms trust into triumph. What's holding you back from trusting fully? Maybe it's the memory of past disappointments, the sting of unanswered prayers, the fear of another letdown. But hear this: God's delays are not his denials. Every not yet was a redirection, every silence a preparation, every closed door a protection. Lamentations 3:25 assures us, "The Lord is good to those who wait for him, to the soul who seeks him." Your waiting has built a faith that can withstand the weight of your calling. Your seeking has sharpened your spirit to hear this message. Your trust, right now, is the key that keeps this door open. Picture that door again, its golden light pulsing like a heartbeat. Beyond it, you see not just your dreams, but the dreams of others. Children who need your wisdom, communities who need your voice, souls who need your light. This door isn't just for you, it's for them. Your trust, your legacy, your courage. They're the bridge that carries others to their own breakthroughs. You're not just a chosen one, you're a chain breaker, a trailblazer, a carrier of hope. The enemy's lies can't stop you. Your past can't hold you. This moment, this message, is yours to claim. Let's talk about surrender. Not the kind that feels like defeat, but the kind that feels like freedom. Surrendering to God's plan means letting go of your need to control the outcome, releasing your grip on how and when, and embracing the why of your calling. Matthew 16:24 says, "If anyone desires to come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me." Your cross isn't your burden, it's your purpose. The unique assignment God has entrusted to you. Surrendering to it means trusting that his plan is bigger, his timing is perfect, his power is enough. Think of Mary, a young woman in Luke 1, faced with an impossible call to carry the Savior. Her life was simple, her future planned, but God's message disrupted it all. Yet she surrendered, saying, "Let it be to me according to your word." Her surrender didn't make the path easy. Scandal, danger, and sacrifice followed, but it made the path eternal. Your surrender won't make your path easy, but it will make it eternal, aligning you with a purpose that echoes through heaven. Your 3 steps, your goal, your connection, your action, are acts of surrender, proof that you're ready to follow where God leads. If this message is stirring your spirit, if you feel the call to surrender to God's plan, type, "I am surrendering to my divine call" in the comments below. This is your vow to heaven that you're ready to let go and let God, to walk through this door with open hands and a trusting heart. Pray for the person above you. They're surrendering too, standing with you in this holy moment. Your prayer binds you to a family of faith, a remnant rising to change the world. Now, let's talk about timing. Not the world's timing, rushed and fleeting, but God's timing, precise and eternal. You didn't find this message by chance. Galatians 4:4 says, "When the fullness of the time had come, God sent forth his Son." Just as Jesus arrived at the perfect moment, this message has arrived at the perfect moment for you. Every trial, every prayer, every step has led to this divine appointment. The enemy wants you to believe it's too late, that you've missed your chance. But God's clock is ticking, and it's ticking for you. This door, this moment, is your fullness of time. Consider Moses, exiled for 40 years in Midian, tending sheep while his dreams of deliverance seemed dead. But Exodus 3 tells us God called him at the burning bush, not a moment too soon or too late. Moses' timing wasn't his own, it was God's, and it changed history. Your timing too is God's, and it's poised to change your story. Your 3 steps are in sync with his rhythm, aligning you with a breakthrough that's already in motion. Trust his timing, surrender to his plan, and watch the door swing wide. Picture that door once more. Its light now a blazing fire, consuming every doubt, every fear, every lie. Beyond it lies not just your destiny, but the destinies of others. Families restored, communities revived, generations redeemed. You're not just stepping through, you're leading others through, carrying a legacy, a trust, a surrender that shifts the spiritual realm. This message was left for you, chosen one, to erase the lies and claim the truth. The scroll is open, the door is waiting, and the next move is yours. The fire of that radiant door blazes brighter now, chosen one, its flames not consuming but illuminating, casting light on the path you were always meant to walk. This isn't just a moment. It's a divine convergence, where every thread of your life, every whispered prayer, every silent struggle, weaves together into a single undeniable truth. You were made for this. The message left for you isn't a suggestion. It's a sacred charge. A call to rise above the ordinary and step into the extraordinary purpose God has etched into your soul. The scroll in heaven, bearing your name, isn't gathering dust. It's vibrating with urgency, waiting for you to claim its promises and walk through the door that leads to your eternal calling. Let's talk about identity. Not the labels the world has pinned on you, but the truth God has spoken over you. The enemy has spent years trying to rename you, calling you failure, forgotten, unworthy, but those names are counterfeit, shadows cast by lies. Revelation 2:17 promises, "To the one who overcomes, I will give a white stone with a new name written on it, known only to the one who receives it." Your true name, chosen one, is known only to God, and it's a name of power, purpose, and victory. It's the name that makes demons tremble, angels rejoice, and heaven stand at attention. This message is your moment to erase the false names and embrace the identity God has always seen in you. Think of Jacob wrestling through the night in Genesis 32. For years he carried the name Deceiver, a label that echoed his past mistakes. But after struggling with God, he emerged as Israel, one who prevails with God. His new name didn't erase his past, it redeemed it, turning his struggle into his strength. Your struggles, your doubts, the names you've carried, they're not your identity. They're the raw materials God uses to reveal who you truly are. The door before you, blazing with divine fire, is your wrestling ground, your place of transformation. Step through, and you'll walk away with a new name, a new identity, a new destiny. Why does this feel so pivotal? Because your identity shapes your impact. The enemy doesn't fear your past, he fears who you're becoming. Every lie he's told, every name he's tried to impose is a desperate attempt to keep you from realizing you're a royal heir, a co-heir with Christ. As Romans 8:17 declares, you're not a bystander in God's kingdom, you're a builder, a warrior, a light bearer. The goal you wrote, the connection you made, the dream you acted on. These are declarations of your true identity. Proof that you're stepping into the role God has prepared for you. The enemy's lies can't rename you when you're walking in God's truth. Let's anchor this in a story. Meet Eleanor, a graphic designer from Miami, who felt invisible for years. She'd been told she was too quiet, too average to make a difference, but a message like this one awakened her spirit. She took her 3 steps. She wrote a vision to create art that uplifts communities, reached out to a local non-profit to collaborate, and launched an online portfolio of her work. Today, Elena's murals adorn schools and shelters, inspiring hope across her city. Her average life became a masterpiece when she embraced her God-given identity. Your life too is a masterpiece waiting to be unveiled. Your identity isn't what others see, it's what God knows. If this message is resonating deep within, if you feel the truth of your divine identity rising, type, "I am embracing my true name" in the comments below. This is your declaration to heaven that you're done with the enemy's labels, ready to claim the name God has written for you. As you comment, pray for the person above you. They're shedding false names too, standing with you in this sacred transformation. Your prayer strengthens the remnant, the holy community of chosen ones rewriting their stories together. And if this message is igniting your soul, join thousands of chosen souls by subscribing to Stay Anchored in Your Divine Purpose. Your connection to this community is a lifeline in these defining moments. Now, let's talk about authority, not the kind that demands attention, but the kind that shifts atmospheres. You weren't chosen to beg for blessings, you were chosen to command them. Luke 10:19 says, "I have given you authority to trample on snakes and scorpions, and to overcome all the power of the enemy. Nothing will harm you." This authority isn't earned, it's bestowed, a gift from the King to his heirs. The door before you, its fire now a beacon, doesn't just lead to your breakthrough, it leads to your battleground, where you'll wield authority to break chains, heal hearts, and reclaim what the enemy stole. Your 3 steps, your goal, your connection, your action, are exercises in authority, proof that you're ready to step into your royal calling. Consider Elijah in 1 Kings 18, standing alone against 450 prophets of Baal. He didn't plead for fire from heaven. He commanded it because he knew his authority as God's prophet. The fire fell, the false prophets fell, and a nation turned back to God. Your authority, chosen one, is no less potent. The lies you've erased, the identity you've claimed, they're the foundation for a life that commands heaven's attention. The enemy wants you to shrink, to doubt your right to speak with authority. But every step you take through this door declares, "I am God's chosen, and I walk in his power." What's stopping you from embracing this authority? Maybe it's the fear of standing out, the worry of what others will think, the hesitation to claim a role that feels too big. But hear this. Your authority isn't about you. It's about the one who gave it. Philippians 2:9-10 reminds us that Jesus' name above every name carries ultimate authority, and you carry that name. Your goal isn't just a plan, it's a decree. Your connection isn't just a conversation, it's a divine appointment. Your action isn't just a step, it's a command in the spiritual realm. The door before you is your throne room, where you'll rule with the authority God has entrusted to you.